Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Now, I decided I'm going to be ranking every single Big Nate's Private Eye comics because there's not much on like baseball, basketball, and I figured why not we rank every single Big Nate Private Eye? So, without further ado, let's see which one is better. The comics, that is. 10, 2016. This one's just so rude. Like, basically, Nate takes someone's textbook for notes and all that, eventually gives it back to this person named Anna and pretends to play detective, but has the cheesy doodle stains, and obviously she'll get really mad and punch Nate. The reason why I hate this one so much is just because, one, it's a Sunday, but also, two, this one's just so mean. I don't like it at all, and honestly, it's one I will not go back on. 9, July 2019. This one's all about phony bills, and Nate takes Francis's bill and then uses it for ice cream. That is pretty much it. I don't know. I only put this one slightly higher because I do think it's a little bit more funnier, but again, it's just a Sunday, so whatevs. 8, 2023. I put this one higher just because I do think this one's slightly funnier. Now, some people might not agree, but I like this one because Nate wants to figure out what happened to his exam for social studies, but things didn't go well at all. And I don't know, this one isn't as rude or anything crazy or anything out of the ordinary. I like this one better, in my opinion. 7, 2021. This one focuses on Chad losing his watch. And so Nate is trying to figure out which one of them did it. But turns out Chad had it in his pocket. That's the reason why I put it low, because I feel like it's kind of dumb and all that. But I do think it's pretty decent for the most part. But again, there's better ones than this one. 6, 2024. This is the recent time Big Nate became a private eye. So basically, Francis loses his skateboard. So Nate decides to find it. But turns out it's stolen by a little girl named Miranda, who wants it for herself. And knowing her, she's a very vicious person. But, in a sweet way, don't worry. But I do think this one's pretty cool because I like the concept of trying to find a skateboard and all that. I do think it has some pretty good funny jokes here and there. Plus, Francis has a sticker of young Sheldon. Pretty neat. 5, 2007. And this is the oldest one where Nate Wright becomes the private eye and even says it. So instead, Francis forgets his book fair money, or he assumes that someone stole it, so Nate goes hunting and all that, but turns out he accidentally left it in his locker and all that, and it just slipped somewhere by accident. And for the most part, this first one is just really funny because you assume that it's stolen by someone, but nope, it was there the entire time. And I love how Nate's like, mission accomplished. You didn't solve anything, but I do think this one is really funny. I love it so much. 4, 2011. Now, before this detective work happened, basically Nate lost his lucky socks, so he's going to try and find out who stole it by wearing the costume and going on a quest. And he ends up failing, sadly. But when the game happens, he finds out it's been stolen by Jeff, who actually watched him, but Nate got really upset at the end. But again, the detective parts are really funny. Like, this is a part of a small arc, and I do think this is really funny. And it's one of my favorites. I feel like the jokes are well-timed and all that, and it's really good. 3, February 2019. So Dee Dee wants a boyfriend, so Nate decides to help out. Sorta, it doesn't really go well, but I do think the jokes are really cleverly made, and it's super funny. At the end, Dee Dee does find a boyfriend without Nate's help, but the blow to this is that Nate found someone, which was Chad, and Chad was a little sad, which is really unfortunate. But besides that really sad ending for Chad, I do think this one's really good, and it has some really good, funny jokes here and there, and it's super good. 2, 2015. So around this time, Nate found this girl who we didn't know at that time. Her name would eventually become Trudy, but Nate wanted to find her, so became detective work. And again, the jokes are cleverly written, and it's super funny to Nate trying to find this girl and all that, and he's kind of struggling a bit. We get more of this later the week afterwards, but this one's a really funny detective section. I love this so much, but there's one more better than this one. 1, 2013. This is my favorite Private Eye comic because basically
Nate finds a note. Oh, well, technically, Francis and Teddy found a note saying that Nate was probably adorable or something. So Nate decides to find out who this person could be, and the jokes are cleverly written. Everything is so good. It's what we expect from a Private Eye comic, and it's really good. At the end, Nate finds out it was someone named Madeline who wrote it, but turns out she's going out with Joe. And when they find out about the note, it says something about figure skating, which Nate is not a huge fan of. But again, this is by far my favorite, just because the jokes are cleverly written, and everything's well done, and I believe it's so good, and I like it a lot. Okay, and that is the end of our ranking of Nate Wright, Private Eye. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and be sure to tell me what ranking ideas you have, because I actually remembered something else for Big Nate. I just mentioned in the video, presidential election. We'll see in the future.